You gotta be an idiot to bet on that parlay.
It's DT up or bust.
Put it on my mama's porch tomorrow. Welcome back to Hold My Bev podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Park. Here with me today, as always, Mr. DTF, Dylan Fields.
What's up, everybody? We are back. It is NFL Combine weekend. Obviously, as a Cleveland Browns fan, I can't get too excited yet because we don't know who's going to fall the second round to our pick unless we trade up. But it's been a good weekend. It's been a great weekend. Brandon, what's going on?
Not a whole lot. Just been getting back in the grind since I've been back from Florida. After taking a nice week off. But we have a decent amount of news for today, actually. But how about you, Dylan?
Honestly, I stayed home all weekend. Had a friend come over today. That was a nice visit. I did see some big Browns news, or some rumors, so I can't wait to dive into those. But other than that, it was kind of a calm weekend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I guess we can go ahead and get into that before we do the Combine. Apparently, it's rumored that Jesse Bates from the Cincinnati Bengals would like to play with Deshaun Watson, even though they play opposite sides of the ball. Cleveland's going to be looking for a safety, especially if they're releasing John Johnson, which I think they should. And Jesse Bates is one of the best safeties in the league, so, that's pretty awesome. Still fairly young as well. Dylan, what do you think about that?
I do like that a lot. I would have been fine even bringing back Poyer, but I think Jesse Bates will fit in well. He wants to play with Deshaun Watson. Everybody wants to come play for us now because they want to win that ship.
Yeah, hopefully we can at least be in contention.
Mm-hmm. Well, DeAndre Hopkins just tweeted or posted a picture of him in a Texans uniform standing next to Deshaun Watson.
Oh, really? I completely missed that.
It was on his story. Yeah, I think it was on Instagram, but it was a picture of Deshaun Watson and Hopkins on the field, like with their offense.
If the Browns don't really like who they are seeing with that second round pick, I'd be perfectly fine giving that to Arizona.
Yeah, I would like that as well. But I don't need it. I don't need it because we could pick up a couple receivers in this draft and be way better off than an older DeAndre Hopkins who's injury prone. We've already got the vet on the squad with Amari Cooper, so I'd love to just have some fresh legs.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that. I mean, it would be cool, don't get me wrong, but, it just would come down to the asking price.
Yeah.
I know there's a couple of receivers I hope drop to him in the second round, which probably will because it's not a very heavy receiver class.
I don't know. I mean, between Jalen Hyatt and Jigba, you've got who's from TCU again?
Oh, I can't think of his name. That's terrible.
He's like the top receiver in the draft.
Darius Davis?
Quentin Johnson.
Yeah, Quentin Johnson.
He's a dog. You've got Mims. You've got Josh Downs. Those are two of the prospects the Browns are meeting with, I believe. I don't know about Mims. I know Josh Downs they're going to have a formal meeting with. There was a receiver, I believe, from Cincinnati.
Yeah, Tyler Scott.
Yep, Tyler Scott.
Yeah, I think he would be probably the perfect fit. And probably the most realistic option that we can get, which I'd be perfectly fine with. He's literally what we need if we're going to draft a receiver. So,
how do you feel going into this offseason with our defense, picking up somebody like Javon Hargrave? I read that the Browns were. I was reading that they're preparing a $20 million per year offer to him to come play for us.
Yeah, I would absolutely love it. I'd definitely encourage for it to happen. And then another one, even though he's older, and I know he would prefer to probably stay in Philadelphia, Brandon Graham even would be cool.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, but something to help on the edge. We just need something temporarily. That's going to help us now rather than build for the future probably.
Yeah. My biggest thing is when you've got guys that are younger, like Anthony Schwartz and David Bell, if they're not breakout stars their first or second year, you start to question whether or not they're going to make it. Obviously, Donovan Peoples-Jones is breaking out. I think, in my own opinion, he's going to be a reliable receiver. I think Anthony Schwartz doesn't have a future with us. David Bell, obviously, his first season, he was hurt in the beginning, wasn't he? So he didn't get a lot of time anyways. This is kind of a make-or-break year for him, especially if we do draft a receiver. I mean, you don't want to fall to a wide receiver 4, let alone fall off. So.
Yeah, you don't want to be losing snaps, that's for sure.
And you don't know how much longer Amari Cooper is going to be on the team, whether it's another year or two, and you don't know if he's ever going to get hurt. So it would be in David Bell and Anthony Schwartz's best bet to mentally and physically prepare for anything to really show off, because this is the year. This is the year for everybody, basically. I mean, it's kind of Super Bowl or bust, with all the money that we're paying Deshaun.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying we have to win it all this year, but we do have to do something fairly soon, make some damage, and it's pretty much what you said, Super Bowl or bust.
I just think that if we don't go to the Super Bowl, let alone win the Super Bowl, it's going to make the city of Cleveland hate the Browns organization for what they did in terms of spending so much money on one person, which was a high risk already. If they do not get it, it's going to be very bad. It's going to be a bad day to be in the Browns organization.
Did you see today, though, on Sunday, they said that Watson would be open to restructuring his contract?
Yeah, and I think he should. I think it was the initial, let's get him here, and then we'll figure it out. I think he needs to understand that in order to win a Super Bowl and not get his ass traded is going to be, we need to surround you with talent, but we cannot do that if we're paying you the entire salary.
Yeah, and I think that was a given from day one, honestly, that it would come down to this, let's get you your money, and, maybe we can cut off and shave some money off your contract by, maybe giving you it as, like, bonus or whatever, which usually happens in this case, but because they're not just going to say, oh, no, I'm just going to sacrifice that money. No, they'll usually give it to, or at least some of it as, like, a bonus.
I had another thought. Do you know much about Parker Washington from Penn State?
A little bit. I saw some plays and some tape.
Yeah, the Browns. It says on Twitter that the Browns held a formal interview with him as well. I just wanted to know if you knew anything about him, but I didn't. I didn't know much about him at all.
Yeah, he's super athletic, of course. He had some crazy plays and came up big for Penn State this year, even though they struggled a bit. He probably was, I would say, one of the shining lights for Penn State. Especially since they're going to be kind of going through a slight rebuild. I would love to see them draft a backup center, though. Someone from Ashtabula actually was Penn State center last season. Juice Scruggs. Yeah. And he's in the draft this year. So I would like to see him get drafted by someone at least.
I'm sure he could.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to move away from the Browns for a second here. I wanted to get your opinion on this hot take. Nick Bosa said that he believes teaming up with his brother, Joey Bosa, would break the NFL. What are your thoughts?
That would be deadly. I don't know if it could ever happen or if it would ever happen, but
I laughed really hard because in the comments, one of the top comments was, Yeah, those 5 or 6 games together would be really scary because they're both either always injured or who knows,
Defensive
Joey
player of the
Bosa.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joey
they're
Bosa.
either 5 games in the season or defensive player of the year. It's one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Or throwing their helmet on the sideline.
Yeah, or making some smart remarks or bad remarks that
Mhm.
are probably regrettable in most eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that'd be sick if they both the Bosa brothers were playing together. Just as an Ohio State fan, even though I don't like the way that Nick Bosa kind of just left Ohio State, do I blame him? No,
Well,
but
I feel bad because they were like two of my favorite players to watch at Ohio State, and it just felt like Nick wanted nothing to do with bowl games, and I don't know, it just felt like he didn't care as much.
yeah, absolutely, I would agree with that. He didn't give that heart and soul that Joey gave. I don't think.
Yeah. Joey was the
I
face of.
did. I did kind of love, even though it happened against the Browns. I did love how he got his revenge on Baker, though. Nick
Oh
Bosa.
yeah. No, that was great.
Yeah.
I have the photo here. I was gonna pull up for you the um, DeAndre Hopkins picture. Here, let me pull it up. I pulled it
Did he
up.
just post that today?
No, I think this was on whatever day March 3rd was.
March 3rd? Okay, that was Friday.
Here, let me pull this up here. Share my screen.
Let's see this picture. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you got JJ Watt, Deshaun, and there's no context. It was just a photo. So
Yeah, no. I mean, shoot. I would welcome it. Just, it has to be the right price.
yeah.
Can't be anything crazy. Honestly, I don't know, and I don't think necessarily they would do it. But I would even trade Arizona Kareem Hunt and like a later round pick for DeAndre to pick up his contract
That's fair.
because they want to get rid of him anyways.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
no,
don't,
you
I
can't
don't
do
want.
that. Kareem Hunt's a free agent.
Yeah, I don't want to see Kareem Hunt leave anyways, but we're not gonna resign him.
Yeah, no, especially how we utilized him this season. Absolutely
Well,
not.
now that Deshaun's back too, he's a mobile quarterback. You don't necessarily need Kareem. It's going to be a hard pill to swallow, but we're going to be trending towards not being a running back team anymore. They're going to be an air raid offense, and Deshaun's going to be the first option running back, unfortunately.
You think over Chubb, they're not gonna? I mean, I know they're not gonna run with Chubb nearly as much, but I mean,
They're gonna give Chubb his flowers, but the only way they're really going to get Nick Chubb the ball is when we have instilled fear in the defense that our pass game is so good that we throw them off with the run. Right now, everybody expects the run, but
yeah, yeah, 100%. I would agree with that. Well, that actually brings up a great question. I saw recently people talking about like the Browns possibly trading Nick Chubb. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't want them to trade him at all.
I don't either.
I don't like the assumption that you can only win the Super Bowl if you only have a good quarterback and mediocre running back. I don't believe that. One of the best, one of the best things the Browns can do is hold on to Nick Chubb for as long as they can.
Yeah, I agree until it becomes too expensive
Mm-hmm.
to keep him. But I don't see that being the case anytime soon, at least. I would
No.
say at least for another 3, 4 years at most.
Yeah.
Um, but I also don't think it's completely out of the realm if you get the right offer. Um, I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm just, I'm open ears on it at least. I'm open ears. I'm not for it, but I would listen to it.
Fair enough.
But did you get to watch any of the combine at all?
No, honestly, I grinded out Yellowstone season 4 this whole weekend, so I'm on to season 5 now, and I checked into a couple videos, but nothing really.
Yeah, I saw a couple of performances. I didn't really watch a ton of the combine. I feel like you can only watch it for so long. I usually like watching like the running backs and receivers and like uh, cornerbacks. That's about it. Even
Mm-hmm.
the linemen. I like seeing the linemen do the 40. I think that's hilarious. But this one lineman, I gotta catch the name of this dude. Ran something absolutely crazy. It was a defensive tackle, or was it an end? No, it was a tackle. He ran, which I mean, this is pretty damn good for a defensive tackle. 4.67.
Wow.
That's a big boy running at you full speed.
Yeah.
That 40-yard dash alone definitely boosted his draft stock. Um, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool seeing that. And then Nolan Smith absolutely is going to be flying around the edge. So whatever team gets him is going to be very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Um, but what do you like? And I've seen a couple of people talk about this as well. What do you think about the combine? Is it necessary? Do you think? Do you think it really tells a ton?
Mm, you know, for somebody like Smith and Jigba, who didn't get to play all year, and he's finally healthy again, despite not doing a 40 time, I believe. This gives him a chance to prove the doubters that he is a top 10 pick. I all along, all season, even though he only played like 2 games, Jackson Smith and Jigba was going to be a top 10 pick. And he's going in the first round. But his draft stock dropped because he didn't play. People were worried about him. Let me tell you, you get him on that field and you give him a good quarterback. Don't give him Kyle Trask. You get him a good
Yeah,
quarterback.
hopefully not.
Ohio State
Hopefully not
produces
Kyle
wide
Trask.
receivers.
Give him Dustin Crum.
Yes,
Give
yes,
him
please.
Dustin Crum.
Come on, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. We have Marvin Harrison Jr. coming, Smith and Jigba, Fleming. Fleming's getting drafted too, and he's probably going to be a second or third rounder. I mean, it's going to be, I think the combine's okay. I know I went on a rant there about Ohio State receivers. But I think the combine is good. It sometimes is a little redundant. I think sometimes it's too much to make it that grand of an event because, the NFL will try to make money on anything. But it's tradition, I think it's good for the league.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That just reminded me. I'm gonna look up something right now. Did you see C.J. Stroud's comment? He got asked what his all-time Ohio State team would be.
No, I just saw who he looks up to, and it was Michael Vick and Deshaun Watson, and that he picked number 7 because of Michael Vick. Which I don't think people need to take that too far, like to heart. That he chose those people because of their off-field performances. I think they're both just dogs. Michael Vick had a legendary career, and then Deshaun Watson was also a dog before he did his little stint.
Yeah, I gotta find that video. It's not popping up on YouTube, but I know I saw it on TikTok earlier.
Is it crazy though that people
Stroud.
are giving Deshaun Watson the same amount, if not more, hate than Michael Vick got for his dogfighting, when he also went to jail? I think about that often,
Yeah,
but still think
yeah,
Michael
that
Vick.
is crazy.
One of my first jerseys I ever had as a kid was a Red Falcons Michael Vick jersey. There was just nothing like it. A left-handed mobile quarterback who just ran all over the place, could gunsling it down the field. He was a dog.
Oh yeah. I honestly, I kid you not, if I didn't feel like I'd get judged for it, I would 1,000% wear a Michael Vick jersey. He was awesome. I remember one of the first Maddens I played was the one that he had the cover art. I want to say, what was it, '07?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
was.
Madden '07. And I remember I played as him, and honestly, that was one of the times that was like one of the first football games I like fell in love with, and really like started paying more attention to.
Yeah.
Um, as I prepared for, at the time Madden 11, I got handed down Madden '07 from one of my friends, just because Madden 11 was coming out, and I wanted to buy that, but I wanted to get to learn football more. So I played that game, started to learn more football that way.
Hmm.
Um, while I was waiting for the season to start. I'm still trying to find that. I literally saw it today. Oh, here it is.
I'm going Josh Proctor. That's two bangers at safety. Linebacker, I'm going Ryan Shazier. I'm going Baron Brownie. And I'm going Pete Warner. DN, Chase Young, Nick and Joey. We're going to have a three DN personnel. Inside, I'm going Cameron Hayward. The other corner, who am I putting in the other corner? Oh, Denzel Ward. And my backup corner, my bad, Marshawn. I'm a big Marshawn Lattimore fan. Quarterback, I'm going myself. I'm sorry. Running back, I'm biased. I'm going Mayan Williams, my teammate who was there with me. And I'm going Ezekiel Elliott. Nick Vannett went to Ohio State, I think. So I'm putting him at tight end. Jeremy Ruckert. I'm starting Jeremy Ruckert at tight end. Jackson in the slot. This it's not even no question. Jackson in the slot. I'm going Marvin on the outside. And we need speed. I can't leave Garrett, though. Like, that's crazy to leave Garrett. 11 person, I'm going Chris on the outside. Chris, Marv on the outside. Jackson in the slot. Ruckert in the tight end. 10 personnel, Garrett Wilson. And I'm going to throw a curveball. I'm throwing Marv in the slot. So Marvin Jackson in the slot. Chris and Garrett on the outside. That's crazy. We're not losing a game. Jeff Okuda at corner. Jeff Okuda.
Not losing a game.
I don't think they would.
I'm going to go Matt.
No,
Who did
probably
he
not.
have? Who did
And
he
also,
have after
that was
Ezekiel?
posted by Sports Seriously on TikTok.
When was well, who did he say after Ezekiel Elliott?
Then he started getting into receivers. So Zeke
Oh,
was his RB2.
okay. Yeah, I mean I agree, but well, I don't know if I agree about Mayan Williams being over Zeke. Zeke was an unstoppable force.
Yeah, Zeke, I think is way better than Williams. Personally, no offense to Williams, but
Even J.K.
I think
Dobbins.
that was slightly biased because that's the running back that he played with in college.
Yeah, I think J.K.
Um,
Dobbins is
and
better than Mayan Williams.
oh yeah, yeah, Dobbins was a dog at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Who did
But yeah, I
who did
thought that was
Mayan
cool when I saw that this morning.
who did Mayan split time with this season?
Henderson,
Yeah, that's right.
yes. I'm curious how they're gonna look next season. The Buckeyes.
It'll be a different look. It's
Yeah, I mean they're still gonna have a lot of stud receivers.
our first white quarterback in like 10 years.
Is that who we're starting?
Kyle McCord, that's the plan.
That's what. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
You go back, you've had C.J. Stroud, Justin Fields, Dwayne Haskins,
Dwayne
Cardell
Haskins.
Jones, J.T. Barrett, Braxton Miller,
Braxton Miller, Terrell Pryor,
Terrell Pryor, Troy Smith.
Troy Smith. Yep.
I don't know who. Well, that was 2007. I don't know who was in between him and Pryor.
Basically, yeah. Basically, since I've been watching Ohio
All
State, really,
all great quarterbacks.
Oh
Which
yeah,
shout out.
phenomenal.
I think it's Justin Fields' birthday today. He's 24
Is it
today.
actually? Happy
I think
birthday,
so,
Mr. Fields.
Mr. Fields.
Yes. Is that your cousin?
Yes.
It is.
Yes. Somewhere down the line.
But yeah, not a whole lot happened in sports. Did you see the scuffle between Luca and Devin Booker?
No.
Oh, they got in some scuffle. I mean, it'd be interesting if they match up in the playoffs, the Mavericks versus the Suns. Even
Oh
though I
yeah.
think it would be a completely different story now. But
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't
um,
get a chance to see that. I didn't get to watch much basketball this weekend, although I did bet some stuff yesterday. I was live betting college basketball all day, and then I got into the parlays for the night. I was pissed because I had Kansas money line and Kansas lost, but I had Kentucky money line that paid out. I had Ohio State losing to Michigan State and Alabama beating Texas Tech. Is that who they played? A&M. I think it's Texas A&M.
yeah.
Alabama ended up losing, so I lost that one. I did this crazy one that I saw on Twitter, and I only did it because my friend and I at work, we have seen that there's a Discord that if you pay $50 a month to the Discord, they give you bets that are winning like super huge payouts. Like this guy, here I'll just pull it up because it was actually like crazy. Where is it? Okay, so the other night, this guy turned $1,500 into $46,000.
Wow.
All for Tyler Harrow to make 5 threes and Julius Randle to make 5 threes, and it hit.
That is a bold. Wow.
Like, how do you
That is a
fucking,
bold
how do you
call.
come up with that shit? So the one I saw yesterday was Brooke Lopez, 4 made threes, Grayson Allen, 3 made threes, Tyrese Maxey, 6 assists, and James Harden, 25 points. I did $2 on it, and the payout was $992, and it did not hit. But
What was off? Was all of it off, or
only one. Wait,
Brooke Lopez?
actually, let me look. Let me double check on that one. Because now I'm curious.
Because that'd be crazy if that hit.
Oh, 2 of the 4 hit. So Lopez did not get 4, and Maxey did not get 6 assists. But Grayson Allen hit 3 threes, and James Harden had 25 points. In that same game, I did a smaller parlay. I did James Harden 4 rebounds, Tobias Harris 4 rebounds, and Antetokounmpo 4 assists, and 2 out of the 3 hit. But it is what it is.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I found just now an interesting topic to talk about. What do you think is the hardest position to play in football?
The hardest position?
Yes.
The tight end.
You think tight end's the hardest position to play?
Yes. You have to be the smartest player in the field. Do you want to know why?
I want to hear an explanation because I don't agree whatsoever.
In order to be a tight end on the NFL field, you not only have to know your position, but you have to know the linemen's positions. You have to know what the running play is, what the passing play is, because you have to remember your reception or your running routes. You have to know whether you're blocking or you're running out for a pass. Travis Kelce said it best. Like, you are kind of quarterback 2 on the field because you're not only a wide receiver, a lineman, but you're also, I mean, there's just so many things that the tight end needs to know. So I took that, and I think that the tight end might be the hardest position to play.
That's a fair argument. Yeah, I didn't really think of it that way. I always have thought it's been cornerback. Because you have to be the most gifted athletically for that.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone can play cornerback. Not saying that everyone can play quarterback or, like, running back. But it's a lot easier to find a good running back or a good quarterback than it is a good corner.
Yeah.
I would say. I feel like you just have to... You have to have a different kind of athleticism to be a great corner in the league.
Oh, yeah, they're few and far between.
Like Deion Sanders, Even Darrelle Revis, even though he wasn't the fastest,
Mm-hmm.
he could still play man very well. Being able to, you're basically backpedaling against people that are running 4.3, 4.2,
Yeah.
40-yard dashes. I mean, every single play. And you have to read whether they're going to make a cut, and you have to make your decision right then and there. Um, Nonetheless, be able to read a quarterback's eyes while you're trying to cover them man to man. Granted, that can also be deciphered whether they're playing zone or not.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue with that as well. I didn't really think about tight end though. I thought that was actually a very good explanation in case at least for why tight end would be the toughest position.
We'll have to throw a poll up. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, swipe up and do the poll. What is the more tough position on the field, the cornerback or the tight end? Curious to see what people think.
I'm putting it on our Twitter right now. So by the time you post this, go ahead and check out our Twitter. I'll go ahead and make it the pinned post or pinned tweet on our Twitter. I'm curious what people are going to say. I think it's corner. Honestly, you could really argue anything, I feel like, other than kicker or punter.
I don't know.
Kicker, I mean, kicker would be hard. Don't get me wrong.
Kicker.
I'm not acting like
So
it's
if you were to ask Gabby, Gabby would tell you that the kicker is the hardest position because it's the most under pressured position.
Okay, so see, that's the argument that I would accept. I would. I know if I played football, that'd be the last position I would want to play.
You know what? Throw that on the poll
Kicker.
too. Throw that on the poll, and then make the fourth.
I'm just typing it as a question. I'm gonna have people reply.
Oh, okay. That's fair
Make sure you
too.
go check us out at Hold My Bev. And I'm gonna have state why you think it's the toughest position.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, welcome to the show. We got some new viewers. Thank you for tuning in to Hold My Bev. We're excited to finally be on YouTube and to finally have some video podcasts out. It's been a long road, but we are here. And
Absolutely.
While he's getting that set up, if you are also new, check out my podcast, Refill and Chill. Brandon's on there for Saturdays. We talk about Star Wars, everything in the galaxy far, far away. I've got other episodes that go from anything between TV, music, and movies. Lately, it's just been kind of Star Wars, as a lot's been coming out between Andor last year, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and now we've got Bad Batch and our good old friend Mandalorian. So check it out. Refill and Chill. This is a Refill and Chill production. I like Hold My Bev. I think this is like my favorite show we've done so far. Star Wars Saturday is always a treat because it's like where we can just nerd out. But like this is
it's something special because that's what started it all.
Yeah, and this is like kind of the future.
Yeah, exactly. I actually just ran across the tweet while I was tweeting that. And I see that you liked it earlier. I think this is pretty mind-blowing, actually. In his first 6 seasons in the NFL, Taysom Hill has made $32.77 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
In Lamar Jackson's first 5 seasons in the NFL, he has also only made $32.77 million. How does that make sense?
It doesn't.
It doesn't make sense at all. I mean, yeah, it's one more year, but Taysom Hill, Lamar Jackson. I can do that, and now that we're doing video.
You know why he's
also,
making...
I didn't even realize that I moved my whole studio. It's still in the progress. You'll be getting the jersey and backdrop back here soon, but, I just started doing it over the weekend a little bit and just piecing it all together here shortly.
You know why Taysom Hill makes so much money?
Because he was a quarterback and tight end.
Because he has to play the hardest position on the field.
I mean, he's a great example for your case. They had him play quarterback.
Yes. He's a man of
Kind of had a
many.
noodle arm a little
Man
bit,
of
but
many.
oh yeah. So talking about D Hop earlier, it looks like the Chiefs, Giants, and Patriots are the names that keep coming up in potential D Hop trades. Um, and it looks like it's just going to take a second round pick again to trade for him, which at the time, when the Cardinals got him from the Texans for a second round pick, I thought that was an absolute joke. Now that's a little bit more reasonable that he's, in his 30s, and getting older. But
Did you see
who the hell
that
knows?
on NFL they did a comparison by the numbers of Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama to Jamal Charles?
Really?
Yeah, it was by the numbers.
That's actually a really interesting comparison.
Jahmyr Gibbs is 5'9"
I actually can kind of see it.
199
Right.
pounds. He did a 4.36 40 and a 33.5-inch vertical. Jamal Charles, 5'11", 200 pounds, 4.38, and a 30-inch vertical. So almost Jahmyr Gibbs looks a little more impressive. So maybe that's setting him up for a good career.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a pretty solid running back. I wouldn't even be surprised if he broke out his rookie year just depending on the team that drafts him. I still think Robinson's the best running back in this class, though. And I'm just praying the Eagles somehow don't get him.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will make losing Miles Sanders look like nothing.
Wow, I just read on Twitter somebody did an all-unders bet for the Cavs-Pistons game the other night, and the odds are plus 30,536. They paid $15 and they won 4,500.
Wow. I saw some stuff about the Browns trying to go after DeForest Buckner and trade some draft picks
I saw
for
that
him.
too.
I
Yeah.
don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how reasonable that is, if it's even reasonable. Um, I mean, I would love it, but
Did you did you watch any of the Travis Kelce SNL skits?
I watched a little bit of it. I saw when he was talking about his parents, and then they kept showing the camera on Jason
Mm-hmm.
when he was like, "Yeah, I know my brother was happy for me," and his brother and Jason's just straight facing it, like not happy about it
Yeah,
whatsoever.
he was in a couple of skits. They pulled Jason in. It was kind of funny. It's amazing what
I
they
love
do.
that. Yeah, I like that. I think Saturday Night Live's been getting better and better, at least now.
Fell off for like 10 years
It was
though.
pretty dry for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
But did anything else that you saw over the weekend happen through sports?
Mm, not really. Just been barely keeping a hold of what's going on in Arizona for the Guardians. The Guardians are just doing what they do in the spring training. They just kind of play 50-50 ball. John Cena's coming back to WWE Raw tonight. If you're watching on Monday, I know some of my friends will be
Did
excited.
you grow up a WWE kid?
I was a big WWE kid, yeah. I was huge.
See, I never got into that.
It was awesome. And then I took myself away from it when I was, let's just say I was probably 13 maybe, because I was getting ready to go to high school. So I was like 12 or 13. 14 was when I was in, no, I was in 8th grade. So yeah, let's just say 13. I think I was going into junior high. But not watched it, not breathed a single breath of air of WWE. And then just last month or 2 months ago, I went to my buddy's because he still watches it, and we watched the Royal Rumble, and I really enjoyed it. I was like feeling really nostalgic. You definitely can tell though it's staged and fake now that I'm older, but still very entertaining, and the storylines are just as good as they were back in the day.
Yeah, I wish they could do some of the stuff that they did back in the day.
Yeah, it's just cancel culture.
Yeah.
I mean, Vince
Yeah.
McMahon used to get away with saying the N word, and like today, if he would say that, the man would never be seen on TV again.
Oh, absolutely. I just realized there's two things that we have to talk about. One I didn't really know a whole lot about until just now, but the other I did. Did you hear about Ja Morant?
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah, he's been recently getting caught with guns a ton.
Yeah,
Like what the hell's his problem? Like I don't
something.
get it. You have such a bright future. Why would you just throw it away?
Yeah, it's like the fame's getting to him or something.
Oh, it definitely is. I think that whole Grizzlies team, they're kind of full of themselves.
Yeah,
Everyone's, on their side, and now everyone kind of hates them, other than
yeah.
the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I like Ja Morant. I did. I don't like him nearly as much now, but
Yeah, he's a dog. I mean, he's a really great player, and he's great for the league. But holy shit, is he really blowing it for himself?
yeah, I mean, who knows what he's been involved with now? I mean, that's definitely going to raise some flags, especially
Mhm.
after. I don't know if you heard about the story. After a Grizzlies game, um, John Morant was supposedly in a car.
With
Um, yeah,
the laser pointer, yeah, yep. And then you've got
yeah,
the kid that he beat up and then showing his gun in the park, and then he's got his gun on Instagram Live. Which there's no, I
yeah.
mean,
That's
in my opinion, there's no harm in showing that you have guns, but because of his celebrity status, because he's a face of the NBA to kids, and there's kids who follow him, I think the last thing you want to do for your public image is post a video or a image with you with a gun. You know, I don't know.
yeah, especially just like waving it around too. Like
Hmm.
I don't know.
Not cool.
He's not a rapper. There's a lot of NBA players nowadays that want to be rappers, and then the rappers want to be NBA players. I feel like I've heard that actually by a couple of different people.
Drake, J. Cole.
Yeah, yeah, they want to be NBA players. Um, and then not so much sports related, but it kind of has to do with sports. Did you see the video of Jackson Mahomes allegedly forcing a kiss on a woman at her own bar?
Yeah, but I was confused by that because I thought he was gay.
Uh, I thought he was too, but this video, I don't know, it didn't really look like she wanted it.
No.
She said, he forcibly kissed me out of nowhere, and I'm telling him, pushing him off, saying, "What are you doing?" And then he did it two more times.
Yeah, he's a cancer.
I don't know, he's just weird. He's just weird.
So
I don't get it.
I like Patrick Mahomes, but his wife and his brother are cancer.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely cancer. Like that video of her pouring beer on what fans was it Chargers fans?
Mm,
Do you remember what video I'm talking about?
yeah, it was definitely a rivalry. Was it Chargers fans?
Was it Raiders?
No, I think it was Chargers fans.
I know it was last season for sure. Not this last season, but the season before in
Yeah.
2021, 2022.